If you ask me what's the scariest movie you've ever seen, I usually give the same two answers. I say it's between like movies that legitimately scared you and terrified you, not like jump scare shit that literally left you scared afterwards. Blair Witch Project and The Babadook for me. Those are the two movies that like haunted me long after the movie was over. The Blair Witch Project is truly, I think, the most terrifying film I've ever seen. I go off first time watches. The first time watch, because the second time you know what's going to happen, you know what it's about. The first time I watched Blair Witch, I think was the most terrifying movie I've ever seen. Well, then they made Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows, which I saw one time when I was a kid. I remember it being terrible. Then they made Blair Witch in 2016 of Adam Wingard, and everyone was like, it was fine, whatever. Bombed at the box office, got not great reviews. That is one of my least favorite movies ever made. I hate every choice Adam Wingard did. I hated that movie. It was probably the most annoying movie I've ever seen, and heard. The audio, everybody in that movie is just screaming. The camera work is atrocious, and I just hated that movie. Well, now, listen to this, coming from Bloody Disgusting, and this is a quote from Jeff Snyder, legendary member of the Patriots and the Odd Couple. If you know, you know. Snyder tweeted, "Start prepping those pitches, genre scribes, because it sounds like Lionsgate is ready to venture back into the woods again for another Blair Witch project, since good IP is never truly dead in the streaming age." The original creators of the Blair Witch Project, Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez, didn't have much creative input in Book of Shadows or in Adam Wingard's shitty, terrible Blair Witch movie, but they have a bunch of ideas for a Blair Witch franchise, a universe of Blair Witch Project shit. And it looks like they're gonna make it because they can make these movies for $50 fucking and make like 5 or 10 million off of them. The first Blair Witch Project was a phenomenon that is probably one of the greatest success stories in the history of film. They made that movie for like $25, and it went on to make so much money and be this worldwide phenomenon where it convinced so many people, including myself, that it was a real film. You're watching real footage of these people who disappeared in Burkittsville, Maryland, or something like that. If that's right, that's pretty good. Schmodown. But yeah, that movie was such a success story, and it really, if it wasn't the very first, it's the film that popularized the found footage genre, that expanded not just the horror genre. The found footage genre went on. Think of films like Chronicle. There's so many things, and it all started with the Blair Witch Project. Now they're trying to bring it back. I don't think you could do this in modern day. Not in modern day. They tried to with the Blair Witch, with the fucking drones and our cell phones nowadays, and there's just too much shit. There's too much shit to make it realistic and convincing, and also just who gives a fuck? You're never gonna convince people that this is real anymore. No one's gonna believe it. You're never gonna do anything as good and as haunting and as terrifying as the original Blair Witch Project, because the original Blair Witch Project was so subtle. You never even saw the fucking witch. It was nothingness except these people going fucking crazy and losing their minds, being trapped in these woods. It's one of the most terrifying film productions ever made, and a lot of it because it was real. It wasn't scripted. They put these actors in the woods, and the filmmakers just did things to them in the middle of the night to terrify them, to get genuine, real reactions out of them. I just don't care or believe that any Blair Witch shared universe or whatever the fuck they're trying to make now can be good. It could probably be successful. They could probably make these movies for like $5,000 a pop and make $5 million in return. They could put it on streaming and be like, who gives a fuck? The original Blair Witch Project is the only one that'll ever be great, I believe. What do you believe?